Hey, friends, Andy Kennedy here with 60 Days of Toxic Truths, day 47, still coming to you live from beautiful Florida. This is my last day here. It's bittersweet to leave. Excited to go home and see everybody and get to work on some stuff, but definitely bittersweet always to leave Florida. So, in order to push me out, I guess Florida decided to be rainy today so that it would be okay to leave. But anyway, so today is day 47, and today we are talking about lighting. And as always, there's always a little bit of a story of why I started studying this and where I first heard about things, and I kind of dial it all back to me and my journey through this. So again, for you, if you're new to this stuff, it's about you. It's about your journey, and no one's putting pressure on you to change all of these things at once, right? If anybody's doing that, it's you. Um, but it's good to take a look at some of these things. And one of the, I think, really important things that I first learned about when it was regards to indoor environments and toxic environments was lighting. And I actually first heard about this in college. I was an art major throughout the 4 years. And then in the last semester, I took a sustainability class. And in that class, I learned about a lot of different things. Waste stream. I remember we went to the local county drop-off center and learned about recycling and where that all goes. And I really feel like this class was the kickstart for me into a life that was steeped in care for Mother Earth and communion with Mother Earth and using her resources wisely. And so, one of the things that the teacher turned us on to at the time was fluorescent lighting, and how fluorescent lighting can cause some disruption, could even be one of the root causes behind complications such as ADHD, ADD. All of that when I was in college was just brand new. People were just starting to talk about attention deficit syndromes in general. And so, of course, our lighting and the living, constantly under lights, right? Our ancestors, up until the 1800s, were living by the natural lighting or by candlelight, which is firelight, which is also a natural lighting, a source of light. And but rising with the sun and sleeping with the sun is our natural biorhythm. So number one, the first thing affected by living under light all the time, and I mean incandescent light or fluorescent light or just not natural lighting, it messes with our biorhythms. It's going to mess with our ability to sleep. It's going to mess with our ability to even eat normally or eat on a consistent cycle because we're awake, so our body's like, oh, it's time to eat, right? So we're eating later, we're sleeping less, and in general it can affect our emotional bodies as well. But other strains that can come up mentally and physically from living under specifically fluorescent light, and what that fluorescent light, whether it's flickering, how sometimes people say, the light's flickering, it's giving me, you know, a sense of disruption in my brain, can lead to epilepsy, or at least an epileptic seizure if you have epilepsy. So the flickering isn't good, for one. It can cause eye strain, double vision, migraines, headaches, stress, poor concentration, fatigue, reduced visual task performance, and then repetitive behavior in autistic people. So, and that's based on a scientific study from 2010. So, and as always, if you're in the Facebook group, you'll get this link that I'm reading from, so you don't have to go searching for it. And then there's a spectrum of light, right? So we've got our sort of yellow to blue, and yellow is a natural light. Yellow is the sunlight. Yellow is our firelight. We actually want warm lighting in our homes because the more blue light from screens and lenses and fluorescent lights that we get, the more that can disrupt us. And that lighting is measured in kelvins. And so the higher the Kelvin, yeah, it's more maybe on that daylight or natural light spectrum. Still, if it's got a lot of blue in it, it can be affecting us in a negative way. So, and then there's the other piece that, if bulbs break, what's inside the bulb? right? So invariably bulbs do break. And fluorescent lights and CFLs, of course, contain mercury. And so if you've ever been around a broken bulb, broken CFL, you know, you don't want to be handling that with your bare hands. So, or a vacuum. You don't want that, sucked up into the vacuum that you're using. Like if you're going to vacuum it up, then empty the bag. But be very careful, put on a mask, cover up your hands, because mercury exposure is dangerous. And let's see what else is in here. So avoiding contact, even avoiding just fluorescent lights in general. I think most people know, like I've heard people say recently, like, oh, I don't like shopping in Walmart or any of the big box stores because, of course, that's that really strong, lots of light, lots of bright light. And of course, that's to help you see things in the store. So there's a reason for it. But at the same time, it's also affecting your mood, your energy, your eyesight, your brain. So being focused on that. It's also not just the blue, it's also can be the green. So removing blue light, training your phone at night to go into that night mode where it's a little bit more yellowish and pinkish. It's a red light spectrum. So they make bulbs like that. We have the Wi-Fi bulbs, and there's a whole rabbit hole that you can go down on. Is that good because it's a Wi-Fi bulb, right? So is it emitting all the time, and what is it listening to, right? But we can change it on our phone and change the light, and so at night we make that light a little bit softer, which is important, especially right before bed, because that is going to affect your sleep. Let's see. There's also those new blue light blocking glasses. So in addition to wearing them for your computer, wearing them at night if your lighting is fluorescent, wearing them at work if your lighting is fluorescent, can be really helpful for you as well. And then last here, there's some great resources in this article that I've pulled up. But nope, that's it. Last is on the glasses. I wish I'd brought mine out here. They're really, I've used them for a long time. I have been out of practice using them because I don't have a nice, organized, set up office space. But I did bring them down here. So the problem with wearing them, of course, during a video recording is that, it's reflecting. And so I'm not necessarily using them, but if I know I'm going to be on the computer for a long period of time, then I will. So that's today's toxic truth. Our lighting isn't, all it's cracked up to be. Please try and get out if you're somebody that works in an office all day, get out and get some natural lighting, use the windows, use something that's a natural light spectrum. And then at night too, especially in winter, at least now we're coming into summer, we just hit daylight savings. So it's lighter later, and we've gotten daylight, which is great. We all feel a little bit healthier when we're doing that. So coming into winter, or if you're somebody that stays up late, just being mindful, maybe once or twice a week, light a candle and try and read by the candlelight, right? Because that's going to be better for your eyes. So, unless of course your eyes are straining, right? It's arguably better in some ways to use that light. Not, of course, if your eyes are straining. So that is day 47, toxic lighting, a little bit more about lights in general, and where I first heard about that stuff. So long time ago, that was 1990, spring semester 1995, I took that class. So 30 years that I feel like I've known about lighting, and it's hard to avoid. So it's not something that, I always avoid, but in our home, we've got soft light bulbs, and in our home offices, we try and do that as well. So hope you guys appreciate these toxic truths. Please keep joining us. We've got about 13 more days to go. So just under the last 2 weeks we're here. And then tomorrow's topic, tomorrow I am driving all day, so it may not be live. I may try and record that right now and schedule that to go live for you guys at some point on Saturday. And tomorrow we are talking about hand sanitizers. So that's a good one to talk about when you're on the road and using hand sanitizers, or not when you're on the road. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you sharing these. Appreciate you in the Facebook group, for everybody that's in the group with us. And I will go and post that link now. So we'll see you there.